All right. I'm going to flesh this out a little more for you guys in the form of a closing argument from prosecutors to the jury in light of what happened during Michael Cohen's testimony today when the defense got a little gotcha with regard to one single phone call in this case. And the entire news media lost their mud and said, this case is over. Defense just won. Prosecution just lost. So I'm going to do this as though I'm giving an actual closing argument, and I'm talking to the jury. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defense would have you believe that this one single phone call between Michael Cohen and the cell phone of Keith Schiller, Donald Trump's body man / bodyguard, because we've already established through multiple witnesses that when Donald Trump wanted to speak with Michael Cohen, he would use the cell phone of his bodyguard, Keith Schiller, because he didn't want those phone calls appearing on the phone records for his phone call, the defendant. Ask yourself why that is during this period of time. What was going on during this period of time leading up to Election Day 2016, where the defendant, Donald Trump, didn't want to appear on his cell phone records phone calls between himself and his attorney, Michael Cohen? Ask yourself that question, first of all. Second, the defense would have you believe that during this period of time, Michael Cohen was calling to talk to Donald Trump about a 14-year-old who was prank calling him. In the days immediately following the release of the Access Hollywood tape on October 7th, when Donald Trump, David Pecker, Michael Cohen desperately needed to lock down Stormy Daniels and prevent her from going public with her story. That's what was going on. That's what Hope Hicks testified to. That's what Keith Daniels testified to, Stormy's attorney, Keith Davidson, excuse me. That's what Michael Cohen testified to. Multiple Republicans were shunning Donald Trump and telling him to step away from the election in the 48 hours following the release of the Access Hollywood tape. So he showed up 2 days later to the debate with Hillary Clinton with 4 of Bill Clinton's accusers. 35 minutes after the release of the Access Hollywood tape, Donald Trump's campaign coordinated through Roger Stone and WikiLeaks to leak 2,050 emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, John Podesta, which had been hacked and stolen by Russian intelligence. But the defense wants you to believe that this one critical phone call involved Michael Cohen talking to Donald Trump about a 14-year-old who was harassing him on his cell phone. The defense had the opportunity to call witnesses. The defense had the opportunity to put on the witness stand the person or persons who were on the other end of that phone call. The defense had the opportunity to put in front of you, the jury, Keith Schiller, Donald Trump's body man. The defense had the opportunity to call to the witness stand the defendant, Donald Trump. The defense had the opportunity to present evidence to you of who was on the other end of that phone call and refute the testimony of Michael Cohen. The defense did not do that. But the defense wants you to believe their version of that phone call without having presented any evidence whatsoever to you, the jury. The defense wants you to take their word for it. Prosecution, we put on witnesses. We put on 19 witnesses in this case. We put on 19 witnesses. We put in countless documents. We put in all 34 of the falsified documents. We had witness testimony. We have emails. We have text messages. We have recordings to support those 34 documents. We, the prosecution, presented to you, the jurors, Alan Weisselberg's handwritten notes of the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels, plus Michael Cohen's $50,000 bonus, doubled that amount, plus $60,000 for other reimbursements for $420,000, divided up over 12 months, $35,000 a month. We, the people, presented that evidence to you. We presented 11 checks signed by the defendant, many of them signed by him in the Oval Office while he was serving as President of the United States. The defense wants you to believe that he had absolutely no idea why he was signing $35,000 checks to Michael Cohen once a month for 11 months. The defense had the opportunity to present evidence, and they didn't. The defense had the opportunity to present to you an alternate narrative to explain all of the evidence, all of the documents, all of the text messages, all of the emails, all of the recordings, all of the witnesses that the prosecution has presented to you. The defense presented nothing to you. The defense wants you to take their word for it. They want you to, Scout's honor, believe that when that critical phone call that they keep squawking about was not Michael Cohen talking to Donald Trump, but the defense did not put their client Donald Trump on the stand to refute Michael Cohen's testimony. They just want you to take their word for it. The comments of attorneys during trial are not evidence. You will get an instruction on that from the judge, stating to you explicitly, comments of counsel during trial, opening statements, closing arguments are not evidence. They want you to take their word for it. We presented you with evidence, sworn witness testimony. They gave you none. We presented you with documents. They gave you none. We presented evidence to support the information in those documents. They gave you none. But they want you to take their word for it. They want you to take their word for it when they presented you with nothing. That's how easy that is. It takes 5 minutes, man. It takes 5 minutes. It's not hard.